International Construction Magazine's exclusive ranking of the world's largest construction contractors by sales, the ICON 200, has been released. Total sales on the list reached a record high of a staggering $2.028 trillion, up from last year's $1.968 trillion. Chinese-based contractors continue to dominate the listing, with 6 contractors in the top 10. Contractors from the US enjoyed a strong year in 2022. Out of the 33 US-based companies on the list, 21 saw their rankings improve. It is becoming a cliché to talk about how resilient the construction industry is in the face of a raft of challenges: inflation, skills shortage, supply chain disruption, but that doesn't make it any less true. The latest edition of the ICON 200 provides yet more ammunition for this viewpoint, with sales hitting their highest ever level at $2.028 trillion. There are 200 contractors on the list. Some of the biggest upwards movers on the list have been from those firms involved in the sector of home building. Several firms drop out of the table due to going out of business, such as Australian-based Clough. Their top 5 places on the list, like last year, are all taken up by Chinese contractors. All 5 of these companies saw their sales increase, albeit some by a few percentage points. The performance of these contractors underlines the strength of the country's Belt and Road Initiative around the world, as construction activity in China itself in 2022 was down. Vinci is the first European contractor on the list, holding steady in 6th position. Fellow France-based contractor Bouygues is in 7th, and then comes the first movement in the top 10, with a CS rising from 9th to 8th. The Spain-based contractor changes places with Shanghai Construction Group. US-based residential developer Lennar rounds off the top 10, swapping places with D.R. Horton, another US-based house builder. The chart to the right shows the percentage split of the money generated by the ICON 200 by country. Chinese firms account for 44% of the total, the same as last year. $893 billion is the total money generated by Chinese contractors on the list. 33 is the number of US and Japan contractors on the list, the joint highest. $107 billion is the difference in how much money US and Japan contractors made, with US firms generating more. As previously stated, Chinese contractors dominate the table. However, US-based contractors had a strong year in 2022. Of the 33 companies, 21 saw their placings increase. The percentage total of 13.7% is an increase on last year's 12.5%. The results of Japan-based companies are in stark contrast, with 29 of the country's contractors dropping down the rankings. Next are 3 European countries: France, UK and Spain. France only has 8 contractors on the list, but they generate $153 billion. The UK has the 3rd highest number of contractors on the list at 23, but these generate the relatively small sum of $80 billion. This is less than the $82 billion from Spain's 11 contractors. There is only 1 contractor from South America on the list, and 2 from India. What is the future for the ICON 200? Issues remain for the industry, such as inflation, a lack of workers, and supply chain problems. Despite some dark clouds on the horizon, the overall picture remains bright. Construction is an essential industry, and governments around the world are showing little let-up in their desire to commission large infrastructure projects. Last year it was predicted that this year's table would see a small decline, but instead the list grew from a record amount. One would expect for the table next year to remain at roughly the same level, but such is the strength of the sector, another strong rise can't be ruled out.